Can we get some sort of update for EMS?
Central, this is most likely a K. We're going to treat this as a homicide.
Kevin Bacon, a 25-year-old hairstylist, vanished on Christmas Eve 2019. His family grew increasingly worried as hours turned into days with no sign of him. What they didn't know was that Kevin had met someone online, a seemingly ordinary 50-year-old chemist named Mark Latunski. Police would soon uncover a trail of breadcrumbs leading to Latunski's home, where they made a discovery so horrifying it would shock even the most seasoned detectives. What happened to Kevin Bacon, and why did his innocent online date turn into a nightmare beyond imagination? 2. A Christmas Eve vanishing. Kevin Bacon, a 25-year-old hairstylist from Swartz Creek, Michigan, was more than just a pretty face. He was known for his vibrant personality and passion for his craft friends and family, adored him for his infectious energy and talent with scissors and style. But beneath his cheerful exterior, Kevin struggled with his mental health. On Christmas Eve 2019, Kevin had plans that would take him away from his family. He told his roommate he was meeting someone from a dating app for a hookup. It was supposed to be a quick encounter before the holiday festivities. Little did anyone know this decision would set in motion a series of tragic events. As Christmas morning dawned, Kevin's family grew increasingly worried when he failed to show up for their traditional breakfast. His father, Carl Bacon, felt a gnawing sense of unease as hours passed with no word from his son. This was out of character for Kevin, who was usually in constant contact with his loved ones. So unable to shake their concern, the Bacon family decided to take matters into their own hands. They began a frantic search for Kevin, hoping to find any clue to his whereabouts. Their efforts led them to a family dollar store in Clayton Township, several miles from their home there in the parking lot. They found Kevin's car abandoned. Police were called to the scene, and upon searching the vehicle, they made a disturbing discovery. Inside, they found Kevin's phone wallet and some clothes. It was as if he had vanished into thin air, leaving behind the very items that could have helped locate him. Investigators wasted no time. They accessed Kevin's phone, hoping to find any information that could lead them to his whereabouts. What they uncovered sent a chill down their spines. Conversations with a man named Mark Latunski filled the screens. These messages would become crucial in piecing together Kevin's last known movements. As police delved deeper into the digital trail, a disturbing pattern began to emerge. Kevin's last communication had been a text to his roommate at around 6:15 p.m. on December 24th, saying he was having a good time. This message now took on a sinister tone as it marked the last time anyone had heard from Kevin. The urgency of the search intensified when investigators learned of Kevin's history of mental health struggles, including previous attempts to take his own life. Just weeks before his disappearance, Kevin had been admitted to a mental hospital and discharged on December 2nd, 2019. This information added a new layer of complexity to the case, leaving everyone to wonder what had really happened to Kevin Bacon on that fateful Christmas Eve. 3. The chemist with a dark secret. Mark Latunski, a 50-year-old former chemist, lived in a secluded house in Shiawassee County, Michigan. His professional background and quiet demeanor masked a troubling history of mental health issues. Latunski had been diagnosed with major depression and paranoid schizophrenia conditions that would play a significant role in the unfolding tragedy. Latunski's ex-wife, Emily, had divorced him in 2013, citing his unstable mental health as a major concern during their divorce proceedings. She had discovered his infidelity and witnessed his increasingly erratic behavior. The couple had 4 children together, and Emily's primary worry was for their safety. Court documents revealed that Latunski had stopped taking his prescribed medication, a decision that ultimately led to his termination from his job as a chemist. In the months leading up to Kevin Bacon's disappearance, Latunski had already caught the attention of local law enforcement. Two men had previously escaped from his home, claiming they had been held against their will. These incidents raised red flags, but surprisingly, no charges were filed against Latunski. This lack of action would later come under scrutiny, as critics argued it reflected a lack of urgency in investigating cases involving gay men and BDSM. Despite these alarming reports, Latunski was allowed to continue his activities. Unchecked, the failure to intervene would have devastating consequences, as 𝐃𝐸𝐵𝐴𝐶 unknowingly entered the orbit of a man with a dark and dangerous past. In December 28, 2019, police approached Latunski's home to conduct a welfare check. They were unaware of the horror that awaited them inside the quiet exterior of the house gave no indication of the gruesome scene that would soon be revealed. The officers' approach marked the beginning of a shocking discovery that would send ripples through the community and expose the tragic consequences of missed opportunities to prevent a horrific crime. 4. The grisly discovery on December 28, 2019. Police arrived at Mark Latunski's home in Shiawassee County, Michigan, to conduct a welfare check in connection with 𝐃𝐸𝐵𝐴𝐶's disappearance. The scene that greeted them was unsettling. Latunski answered the door wearing nothing but a leather kilt. Despite the frigid Michigan winter temperatures, this odd behavior immediately put the officers on high alert. Latunski surprisingly allowed the investigators to search his property without resistance. As they made their way through the house, they discovered a hidden room in the basement. What they found there shocked even the most seasoned detectives. 𝐃𝐸𝐵𝐴𝐶's lifeless body hung upside down from the ceiling, his throat brutally slit. The gruesome sight was just the beginning of a horrifying scene that unfolded before their eyes. Evidence of dismemberment and cannibalism was present throughout the room. Investigators noted signs that parts of Kevin's body had been removed and consumed. The level of violence and depravity stunned the officers, who had never encountered such a disturbing crime scene in their careers. The basement had been transformed into a nightmarish tableau that would haunt them for years to come. Latunski was immediately taken into custody at the scene as the reality of the situation sank in. He made a chilling confession that left investigators reeling. He admitted to stabbing Kevin in the back and slitting his throat. These actions alone were horrifying, but Latunski wasn't finished. He went on to describe how he had eaten parts of Kevin's body, including his genitals. The level of detail in his confession matched the evidence found at the scene, leaving no doubt about his guilt. Despite Latunski's claims that Kevin had wanted to die, text messages between the two told a different story. These messages indicated that Kevin had actually been seeking safety and reassurance after their hookup. This revelation added another layer of tragedy to the already heartbreaking case. Experts who later analyzed the crime noted the complex nature of Latunski's actions. While his history of mental health issues, including diagnoses of major depression and paranoid schizophrenia, played a role, the calculated nature of the crime suggested a disturbing interplay between delusion and premeditated violence. This combination made the case particularly chilling and raised questions about the intersection of mental illness and violent behavior. 5. Justice for Kevin. Mark Latunski faced serious charges for his horrific actions against 𝐃𝐸𝐵𝐴𝐶, open murder and mutilation of a human body. The legal process, however, was far from straightforward. Initially, Latunski was found incompetent to stand trial, a decision that led to him undergoing extensive psychiatric treatment. For months, Latunski remained in a mental health facility as experts worked to evaluate his mental state and determine if he could understand the charges against him and participate in his own defense. It was a delicate balance between ensuring justice for Kevin and addressing Latunski's complex mental health issues. After several months of intensive treatment and evaluation, Latunski was finally deemed competent to stand trial in May 2021. This decision marked a significant turning point in the case, allowing the legal proceedings to move forward. However, the path to trial was not without its hurdles. Latunski's competency was questioned multiple times throughout the legal process, highlighting the complex nature of cases involving severe mental illness. On September 22nd, 2022, nearly 3 years after Kevin's murder, the courtroom was stunned when Latunski unexpectedly pleaded guilty to all charges. The sudden admission of guilt caught many off guard and brought a swift end to what was expected to be a lengthy trial. During the hearing, Latunski made a shocking claim, asserting that Kevin had asked him to end his life. This statement, however, was quickly refuted by evidence, including text messages that painted a very different picture of Kevin's intentions on that fateful night. The final of this tragic case came on December 15th, 2022, when Latunski was sentenced to life in prison. Without the possibility of parole, the judge emphasized the cold and calculated nature of the crime in delivering the sentence, reflecting the horror and brutality of Latunski's actions. For Kevin's family, the verdict brought a sense of relief. But it was bittersweet. They expressed gratitude for the justice served, but acknowledged that no punishment could ever bring their beloved son back. The pain of their loss remained raw and undiminished by the legal outcome. The case of Kevin Bacon and Mark Latunski sparked intense discussions about safety in online dating and the urgent need for better mental health interventions. It served as a stark reminder of the potential dangers lurking in digital spaces and the devastating consequences when mental illness goes unchecked or untreated. The tragic events also highlighted the importance of taking warning signs seriously and the need for more robust systems to protect vulnerable individuals. Sixth conclusion. Kevin Bacon's murder sent shockwaves through the nation, highlighting the hidden dangers lurking in online encounters. His tragic story serves as a stark reminder of the potential risks in our increasingly digital world. While justice was served for Kevin, the case left deep scars on his loved ones and the community. In honor of Kevin, various advocacy efforts have emerged to raise awareness about online dating dangers. His family has been vocal about the need for better protections for individuals using dating apps. Their goal is to prevent similar tragedies in the future. As we reflect on this heartbreaking case, it's crucial to remain vigilant and prioritize personal safety in digital spaces. Kevin's story reminds us that behind every online profile is a real person with hopes, dreams, and loved ones. The lessons learned from this tragedy underscore the importance of trusting one's instincts and taking precautions when meeting strangers online.